Yeah, come on, Pine Hill song. Yeah, so here we go, down. And here we go, yeah. And here we go, down. Play the track, yo, we go like this, down. Yeah, come on, bring it down. Chemtrail, bring it down with the rhyme, let me bring it up. Chemtrail, yeah, rhymes with blaze, chemtrail.
Peace, y'all. It's your man, God Science. Up in here with a new video. Had to give y'all my intro to let y'all know, but I can't flow. Got that beats though. Anyway, man, how y'all doing? Hope everybody is safe and great out there, man. I thought I'd do a quick video while I drive. I saw a video by Polight, responding to Pharaoh. I guess Pharaoh. I watched a little bit of the video that Pharaoh did, calling him out. Now, there's a couple of things. That debate, if there was a debate or a discussion, I would love to see that. Polight, even though, I'm pissed at him because of the things that, we all know the fraud and all this shit. I think it just stains him. I'm not going to sit here and say Polight doesn't have some information. He is what they used to call the young phenom for a reason. He is an intelligent brother. He brings information. But that all other shit, it just stains him. So anytime he comes out with some shit that really makes sense, then that could benefit you, in the back of your mind are like, man, is this shit a scam, man? Anyway, I already said that in another video. But certain things I just got an opinion on. Just this opinion on. I'm not trashing these brothers, even though, I made my videos about Polight. I already said what I said. Anyway, Polight was talking about Pharaoh's name, and I heard a lot of people say this, and I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to Pharaoh, but I have an idea of his name. He said it's an oxymoron because there is Pharaoh and Allah in the same name, which, if you're looking at it from a certain perspective and meaning, if you're looking at it from a different meaning, then of course. But Pharaoh have already said that he's been in prison. I think, this is just my opinion, that like me, he got interaction with the Nation of Gods and Earths. Now, in the Nation of Gods and Earths, if people don't know, you choose a righteous name because your name has meaning behind it. You know what I'm saying? This with the science that a lot of people know. You start calling yourself something, you start acting like that. But anyway, I was given the name, for instance, I was given the name God Science Allah. All right. Now, I think Pharaoh doesn't use the name Allah as, maybe he does. My opinion, I don't think he uses that name as Allah in natural traditional Islam, or the way the Nation of Islam will use Allah. I think he uses Allah like how the Nation of Gods and Earths used Allah, like how I used Allah. When I was given the name God Science Allah, from my understanding and studies, Allah break down his arm, leg, arm, head, which is talking about the God body. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a lot of terms in the Nation of Islam that is not in that they use from, not say the Nation of, is the Nation of Gods and Earths. Sorry, man. Sorry, this idiot is in front of me driving crazy, so I'm like trying not to be pissed. But anyway, they have a lot of terms. For instance, Islam. All right, the Nation of Gods and Earths, we use Islams, and I broke up broke down Islam, when I saw a lot of people broke it down like that, I sincerely love Allah's mathematics. All right, now it could be broken down other ways. For instance, peace. It's a lot of people know this, but if you don't, I'm just saying to people who don't, like peace, well, could be breaking down to protons, electrons always cause explosions, or proper education always corrects errors. You know, it's ways you can break it down. So I think that's how Pharaoh uses his name, and I think he keeps it because he was gave it, just like how I was gave. Even though I don't agree is 100% with the things in the nation of gods and earth anymore. I do agree with certain things, and certain things I'll always keep for the rest of my life, no matter what the fuck I study or where I go. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that was given to me by people that, if you could call it, like initiated me, or people that helped me study 120 and other older gods that was helping me to understand, helping me on my path. And that's the name they gave me, God Science a lot. That's why I keep it to this day, and I always keep it. So for Polight saying it's an oxymoron, I don't think he actually know what the meaning is. I've heard other people make fun of Pharaoh about being in jail, and he talk about astral projection and why he didn't. A lot of people don't know what the fuck astral projection means. The astral world, you go there every fucking night when you sleep. I mean, a good debate for me, like I said, I would love to see this debate. I would love them to debate on the Medunetta. I would love them to debate on metaphysics, and I would love people to debate on occult science, which means hidden knowledge, hidden science. Occult science, is that shit ours, or is it I heard a video that came out by SETI, and he was going in on occult science and calling it demonic, the Kabbalah, which I believe is all our fucking systems. All right, them system that he about, it didn't come out of Egypt. That shit came out of Egypt. I think Bobby Hemmett proved that. I think the great Bobby Hemmett proved that. I believe the great brother Panic. I mean, a lot of people won't. I mean, he won't even probably agree. We call it him great, but to me, he is, because I've learned a lot from him. I think they have proven that all this science. You see, the thing is this: if you're gonna call out you know occult science and all these things and say it's white peoples and stuff, then that theory of us being the call it a black woman is God and everything came coming from us civilization. You know how we would brag about civilization, the Nile Valley culture and all these things, and it all started. Man, that shit had to all came from us, and it was taken from us because. And this is one of the biggest questions I have, because right now I'm studying occult science, and part of me is still, I'm coming out, you gotta understand, I'm coming out of a Christian home, so this is a forbidden shit. A lot of the symbols and things that I'm studying now will be, oh, you're going to hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about things like Baphomet, the pentagram, all these things that, sacred geometry, astronomy that people used to, that will call, Christians will call evil. I just don't see it like that. You know what I'm saying? That's our knowledge. And if we're God, you know what I'm saying? If we're God, why, and why is this knowledge forbidden? The mystery systems and things like that. Why did they want to keep it away? Especially, the 1% of this world that's running this world. They're keeping all this shit secretive. They don't want us to know these things. Why? Is it because they're using these things that they're kicking our ass? That's just a question. It could be a good debate. I know I'm going off topic, but I'd love to see a debate between Polight and Pharaoh. I wonder though, is Polight coming up now? And he's I always do that when I'm making my videos. I know y'all used to it now. I'm sorry. I guess so. Relax. But is he just going into to you? He wants to do a debate with Pharaoh now because he has the numbers now. He has the subscribers and the big following. I know a lot of people in the community won't fuck with a certain person unless they're at a certain level. For instance, like my videos. I know a lot of them probably don't even see my videos. I wouldn't even, if they did even brush up on my video, they would not mention me because they will look at my numbers and they'll be like, I'm not giving this nigga no light. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. Don't worry. You know what I'm saying? I earn my shit. But it will be a great topic. Those three topics I would love for them to debate on and get their opinions on it. You know what I'm saying? There's guys like, I know this video has nothing to do with Seti, but he talked about how he did the Moors. I think Alim Bey gave him a run for his fucking money. You see, a lot of people think this science, special spiritual science and things like that, you know, it's pseudo. You know what I'm saying? It's pseudo because you can't prove it this systematic way. But you could break down all that shit. For instance, gravity. I mean, we give that shit, that force, that principle, gravity. We call it gravity, but do we really know what the fuck it is? You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is a more philosophical. I've always been that type of person. You know what I'm saying? I always been like that. I'm a Virgo. So, but it will be a great debate. I'm not talking about yelling and calling each other names and threatening people. I'm talking about real fucking information, just to get someone's those brothers' perspective on it. You know what I'm saying? Because, and the thing with Polight is, like I said, this fraud shit. He's talking about all the Bentleys and all this shit that he have. I'm not saying that he got all that probably from robbing people. I'm not taking that away from him. The man probably he got investments. He did great things. I'm not saying that. But the stuff that with all the shit that went down, the people accusing him from taking money. There's respectable people that say that's coming forward saying that he did this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you might come with value information, but nigga, you need to speak on that. That's like the mentality I have. Don't fucking gloss over this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that right there, you could bring all the positive information. You could destroy Pharaoh, but that shit's gonna still be there. You know what I'm saying? And people ain't even gonna want to hear you. They ain't even gonna want to hear you because it looks hypocritical. You talking about all this shit and then you doing this. But anyway, that's a whole different video that I did. I'm not gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what you guys think? Y'all want to see? Would y'all like to see that debate? I think everybody would like to see that debate. That'll be a very big debate. Who would win? I don't know. I think Pharaoh will lose, and I'll tell you why he will lose. A lot of people just won't believe him. There's certain knowledge that people just can't fucking grasp. They're not ready. They're not ready. That This is one of the reasons why I think the Honorable Elijah Muhammad never brought out. He knew those fucking lessons. He knew what those Master Pharaoh lessons was saying, but at the same time, I believe he knew people just was not ready for that shit. And it's just like the same shit. There's some people that's, I think it has to be a balance. It has to be spiritual, and yes, we do live in the physical, so you should master the spiritual, then you should master the physical. So there's nothing wrong with getting cars and good cars and nice homes and shit like that. Hell yeah. But if one is on whack, and that's what I learned, my physical shit, that's all I was focusing on. Spirit, the physical, because it's so fucking tangible. It's like, this is all it is. It's so easy for you to believe that. But for the more research I do, the more successful people I study, there's a spiritual side that they tapped into. You know what I'm saying? And things like magic and a lot of people always bragging about how Haiti defeated how they won that war with high science. Well, there's a spiritual fucking war going on too. You know what I'm saying? A spiritual war. And these are and this is one of the reasons why I'm studying occult science and magic and things like that. I'm not talking about hurting people and conjuring demons and all this stupid shit. I'm talking about understanding knowledge that can help you with your family in your everyday life in a positive way from knowing certain things. Even when I was young, I always used to think and ask myself, man, what if certain people know that if the moon is aligned this certain way, or at this certain time, if you do this and you do that, certain things, good things will happen and shit like that. Ever since I was a fucking kid to 12. Since 12, 11, I used to ask myself questions like that. Anyway, what you guys think? I'm not gonna sit here and rant all day. Thank you for watching and subscribing to the channel. If Pharaoh and Polight ever see this video, those three topics, man. Metaphysics, the Medunetta, is it deciphered? Do we have to do a lot more? And occult science. Who the fuck own is it? And should we understand it? And maybe because some other people understand it because they took it from us, they're kicking our ass with it. Right there. Peace. You have a blessed day, man. Stay safe.